Okay, so now we define the types for objects and variables. If we scroll down into the docs, we're going to skip classes. We're going to go on to functions. So we're first of all going to define a function and then give it the relevant types. So let's go ahead and do that. So in here, I'm going to create a new file, and this one is going to be called functions.ts. So again, TS means it's a TypeScript file which enables type checking, and JS means it's a JavaScript file which is not doing the type checking. So that's a key difference. So what I'm going to do is create a function called getSum. So function of getSum or getTotal, and this function is going to take a value A and B, and essentially what it's going to do is it's going to console log A plus B. So now we have the function. What I'm going to do is invoke the function. So essentially we should get 10 plus 20, which is equal to 30. So that is the function created. So now what we need to do is give it some types, because we have got a lot of errors in here. There's 4 errors in total. So if we hover over the errors, so on the getTotal function, you can see here parameter A implicitly has an any type, which means the value for A could be anything. It could be a string, number, boolean, null, undefined. It could even be an object or whatever. So what we want to do is we want to define a type for A, and if you hover over B, again, this has the same issue of it's got an any type. So in TypeScript, the any keyword is essentially not good, because what we are essentially doing is we're reverting back to JavaScript where we're not having any type checking. So if you see the any keyword, that is not a good practice. You can put it in as a placeholder, but after that, you should remove it. And there are other keywords such as unknown, which you should use instead, but we will talk about that at another time. So let's go ahead and define the type. So this getTotal function, we know that when we get a total of something, it's mainly using numbers. So if we go into the type in here of 10, you can see this is a number and also this is a number. So all we need to do is define the type for A, which is a number, and then the same for B is a number. And now you can see that the errors have gone away. If I hover over getTotal, you can see here it says function getTotal. A is equal to a number and B is equal to a number. And then at the end here, we have something else saying it's void. So what does that mean? Well, it means that nothing is being returned. So essentially, when we console logging, we're not returning anything. What we could do is we could return A plus B. So let's go ahead and do that. And then let's see if that changes. So hover over getTotal again. You can see now that it returns a number this time, which means that it takes in A as a number, B as a number, and returns a number. So this value here is being inferred, as we talked about in the previous video. So what we want to do is, or we can give the return a type. So we could give it a type of number, or we could give it a type of string, which is basically saying we need to return a string. So if we hover over the return value now, it says type number is not assignable to type string. So what we could do essentially is wrap A plus B in a string, which will satisfy the issue, or you could just return it as a number, or you could do A plus B dot toString. So it's up to you what you want to do, but essentially this value here is saying that this function's return value is going to be a string, otherwise it will be inferred dependent on what is returned in this block here. So let's delete this and delete this, and then let's just get it to infer. And if we do getTotal, you can see here it is showing the return value as number. So if we go back into the TypeScript docs, if we scroll down, we've done that section now. What we're going to be looking at next is composing types, and more specifically the union types.